Goa, a name that evokes images of pristine beaches, vibrant nightlife, and a rich cultural tapestry. Nestled on the western coast of India, this small state has long been a favorite destination for tourists from around the world. The land of sun, sand, and good vibes, a place where the days are lazy and the nights are lively. But beyond the picturesque scenery and the festive atmosphere, there lies a story that is often overshadowed by the state's modern-day allure. But underneath all the fun, there's a serious problem. A problem rooted in history, identity, and the struggle for autonomy. It's a story that dates back to the colonial era and continues to impact the lives of Goans today. In 1961, India took Goa from Portugal. This was a significant moment in history as Goa had been under Portuguese rule for over 4 centuries. The Indian government launched Operation Vijay, a military action that resulted in the annexation of Goa. After 451 years, Goa's story changed quickly. The transition from Portuguese to Indian rule was swift and marked by a mix of emotions among the Goan population. For some, it was a moment of liberation. For others, it was the beginning of a new struggle. It wasn't Portuguese anymore, it was part of India. The Indian tricolour replaced the Portuguese flag, and Goa was integrated into the Indian Union. This change brought about significant political, social, and cultural shifts. Many Goans say this wasn't freeing Goa. It was just another country taking over. The sentiment of being liberated was not universally shared. For many, it felt like a change of rulers rather than true independence. It's still a sensitive topic for many people, even after all these years. The memories of the annexation and its aftermath continue to evoke strong emotions. The older generation in particular holds vivid recollections of the days when Goa was a Portuguese territory. This wasn't just about land, it was about who Goans are. The annexation touched the very core of Goan identity. It wasn't merely a geopolitical shift, it was a transformation that affected the cultural and social fabric of the state. Goa, a special mix of East and West, suddenly had to become more like the rest of India. The unique blend of Portuguese and Indian influences that defined Goan culture faced the challenge of assimilation into a larger national identity. The Indian government said they would let Goa keep its special things, but promises can be broken. Over the years, there have been numerous instances where Goans felt that their unique cultural and social rights were being eroded. Today, the fight for Goa's identity continues. The struggle to preserve Goan heritage, language, and autonomy is ongoing. Activists and local leaders continue to voice their concerns, ensuring that the story of Goa is not forgotten amidst the waves of change. Portugal definitely changed Goa. You can see it everywhere in Goa, in the buildings, the language, the food, everything. But it wasn't just little things. Lots of people spoke Portuguese, and it mixed with Konkani, the local language. This made a new kind of Konkani, a mix of both languages. This mix is what makes Goa special, different from other parts of India. If you ignore what Portugal did, you ignore a big part of what makes Goa, Goa. Being proud of India is a good thing, but it has caused problems for Goa. India wants everyone to be the same, and that's making Goa's special things disappear. Goans sometimes feel like they don't belong in their own home. The Indian government wants everyone to speak Hindi and other Indian languages, and that makes Konkani less important. You can see this in schools and government and in everyday life. Goan traditions, which are sometimes seen as too Western, aren't always appreciated. This hurts Goans and makes them feel lost and like no one understands them. There's a lot of pressure to become more like the rest of India. This pressure comes from various sources, including media, education, and even social interactions. The unique identity of Goa, with its rich history and distinct culture, often feels overshadowed by the dominant Indian narrative. This creates a sense of conflict within the Goan community, especially among the younger generation who are caught between preserving their heritage and fitting in with the broader Indian society. Goan kids are sometimes told not to speak Konkani, that it's not a good language. This discouragement can come from peers, teachers, and even family members who believe that speaking Hindi or English will provide better opportunities. As a result, many children grow up feeling ashamed of their mother tongue, leading to a gradual decline in the use of Konkani. This linguistic shift not only affects communication but also erodes the cultural fabric that has been woven through generations. It's hard for traditional Goan music and dance to be popular because Indian culture is everywhere. The vibrant and diverse art forms of Goa struggle to find an audience amidst the overwhelming presence of Bollywood and other mainstream Indian entertainment. Traditional performances that once drew large crowds now see dwindling numbers, and the artists themselves often feel undervalued and unsupported. This decline in cultural appreciation further alienates Goans from their roots. When a language and culture start to disappear, people lose a part of who they are. The loss of cultural artifacts, traditions and practices means losing the stories, wisdom and identity that have been passed down through generations. This cultural erosion leads to a sense of emptiness and disconnection among the people as they struggle to find their place in a rapidly changing world. The fading of these cultural elements is not just a loss for Goa, but for humanity as a whole. Imagine someone telling you that your language, your songs, your stories are not important. This is a harsh reality for many Goans who feel that their cultural expressions are being dismissed or devalued. The pain of seeing one's heritage being sidelined can lead to feelings of frustration, anger, and helplessness. It is a struggle to maintain pride in one's identity when the world around you seems to be pushing you to conform to a different standard. This is what many Goans feel. The emotional toll of cultural assimilation is profound, affecting individuals and communities alike. The sense of loss and longing for a time when their culture was celebrated and respected is palpable. Community gatherings, which once were vibrant and joyous, now often carry an air of melancholy as people reflect on what has been lost and what might still be saved. They have to choose between who they are and being accepted. This choice is not an easy one, as it involves weighing the value of cultural heritage against the benefits of assimilation. For many, the fear of losing their identity is as strong as the desire to be part of the larger Indian society. This internal conflict creates a divide within the community, as different individuals and families make different choices about how to navigate their cultural identity. Losing their culture is a very sad thing, and it's slowly changing Goa. The transformation of Goan landmarks and the disappearance of cultural items are visible signs of this change. As the physical and intangible aspects of Goan culture fade away, the essence of what makes Goa unique is also at risk. This slow but steady shift is a poignant reminder of the importance of preserving cultural heritage, not just for the present generation, but for future ones as well. Goans sometimes experience prejudice and discrimination in India because of their Portuguese past. People see them as different, not really Indian. This happens in small ways and big ways. People tell them, "You don't look Goan," as if there's only one way to look Goan. It's tiring to always have to prove you belong. It makes them feel like some people will never accept them as Indian. Because of all these problems, many Goans want more control over their own lives. They want to protect their language, culture, and who they are. Some even want Goa to be its own country again. They see other states like Kashmir, which have their own special identities and problems. Goans want the same respect, the same power to decide their own future. They want Goa to be run by Goans for Goans, where their voices are heard and their culture is respected. Some Goans still feel close to Portugal. They see it as a connection to their past, a place where people appreciate their heritage. More and more Goans are trying to become Portuguese citizens. It's complicated. Some think it's wrong, like they're turning their backs on India. Others see it as a way to reconnect with their past. For them, it's not about not liking India, it's about being proud of being Goan, which is connected to Portugal. The fight for Goa's identity isn't over, but even with all the problems, there is hope. Goans are strong. They're proud of who they are and want to protect it. They are finding new ways to celebrate their culture and keep their traditions alive. They dream of a Goa where everyone speaks Konkani, where their music and dance are popular, where people remember their history and where everyone respects who they are. They dream of a Goa that is free to be itself, a Goa that is important in the world.
Breaking news.
Goa's story is about never giving up, a tale woven with threads of resilience and hope. This small state on the western coast of India has faced numerous challenges throughout its history, from colonial rule to modern-day struggles. Yet, the spirit of its people remains unbroken. It shows how strong culture and identity can be. The vibrant traditional dances, the colorful festivals, and the rich heritage are all testaments to the enduring spirit of Goa. These cultural expressions are not just celebrations, they are acts of defiance against the erasure of identity. Even with all the difficulties, Goans are still proud. Their pride is not just in their land, but in their way of life, their customs, and their community. This pride is a beacon of hope, a reminder that no matter the adversity, the human spirit can prevail. Their mix of East and West, their kindness and their openness to different cultures make Goa a unique tapestry of human experience. The bustling street markets, where vendors from diverse backgrounds come together, are a microcosm of this blend. Their love of life, seen in the joyous beach dances and the exuberant carnival, is infectious. It's a love that transcends boundaries and brings people together in celebration of life itself. These are the things that make Goa special. The iconic landmarks, the vibrant streets, and the warm, welcoming people all contribute to the unique charm of this place. It's a charm that captivates everyone who visits. The fight for Goa's identity reminds us that real freedom means celebrating differences. It's a fight that has been fought on many fronts, from preserving language and traditions to advocating for social justice and equality. It reminds us to understand and respect each other, to see the beauty in our differences and the strength in our unity. This understanding is the foundation of a harmonious society, so everyone can be happy being themselves. In Goa, community gatherings are filled with laughter and joy, a testament to the inclusive spirit that defines this place. Goa's story isn't just about one small state, it's a universal narrative. It's about the fight to be yourself in a world where everyone is expected to be the same. It's a story that resonates with anyone who has ever felt the pressure to conform. It's about breaking free from the chains of conformity and expressing your true self. It's about the courage to stand up for what you believe in and the strength to stay true to your roots. It's a story for everyone who loves their own special background. It's a reminder that our differences are what make us unique, and that embracing these differences is the key to a richer, more vibrant world.